There are 6 emergency exits.
Hello, everybody. This is Ron, your captain speaking. We are currently 30,000 feet in the air, and we haven't even left the airport. We just lit the joint. Just kidding, a little pilot humor there. We like to have fun. Our destination today is Casablanca, Morocco. So everyone, sit back, fasten your seatbelts, and prepare for takeoff. We will be arriving in 6 hours.
Are you looking for a better way to play player props or daily fantasy sports? Well, look no further than Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the leading over-under daily fantasy game. Why? Because it's so easy to use and win. You can make your picks in under 30 seconds and win up to 10 times your money in one day. Right now, we have a special offer for our viewers and listeners of the 7-Footers podcast. All you have to do is sign up now and use the promo code 7Footer, and Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Yep, that's right. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. So, join the over 150,000 others who found a better way to play and download the Prize Picks app today.
Seven Footers crew, what is going on? How we doing? How we doing, Jarod?
I'm doing good, man. It is the last week of the regular season, so we're in a little bit of a stretch to finish here. Teams still trying to figure out where they're seated in the playoff, in the play-in. It's exciting times, man.
It is very exciting times, Jarod. The last week of the regular season. Would you ever just think how far we've come and how far some teams haven't come?
Let's think about the NBA season, right? It is so long. It's just like the end never in sight. But then it's weird. I feel like it's simultaneously long and short at the same time, because I can remember it starting like not too long ago, and now it's like, oh, we're already here.
Yeah, it was like not too long ago. I had thought the Lakers would have made the play-in, just like that. That's a great
and
transition.
just like that.
And just like that, we are here at the last week of the NBA season, guys. I mean, what else can we do besides predict the awards, of course? And we're going to switch it up a little bit, because in years past, I can't even believe I'm saying years to our baby, the 7-Footers podcast, not anything else. Calm yourselves down over there. But in years past, me and Jarod would go back and forth, but we figured it was much easier if Jarod kind of gave you guys his picks, since he's been predicting so many things right in our gambling segment. I was like, you know what? We need to do this. Just you. It's you, baby. So we're going to have Jarod basically, predict his all-NBA team choices, his award choices, and then I'm probably going to disagree with all of them. So hope that's okay with everyone.
Probably not. You probably will not disagree with any of them.
You're really, really good and have a lot of basketball knowledge. I hate when I have to actually face that and say it out loud, but that's why we're here. So let's start with the best and most high award there is, other than earning yourself a chip, the MVP, because we got a couple names in the mix, a couple big men out there. I love the memes that you see all of their baby pictures, and it's like, of course, when they're all like short and growing.
And in Nikola Jokic's case, probably chubby.
Yeah, and it's like these guys are running the league, so anything can happen. Love it. All in fun, of course. But yeah, what do you got going on for the MVP race here? Do you have one solid choice, or are you teetering between two?
It's interesting, right? So all year, for the majority of the year, the narrative has been it is Jokic. Right, those are the people, the three guys who are front running. Early in the season, Steph was making some noise, as was KD, but injuries happen, and those guys fall out, what have you. But those three guys have been sort of like the constant. Luka's come on of late. DeMar DeRozan started out really well through the All-Star break. He's kind of slowed down a bit since. But Jenna, it's really those three guys. And for me, while those three should be the top three on your ballot, the ballot goes down to 5. Those should be your first 3 on your ballot. I do think it's a 2-man race. And the 2-man race is between Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets and Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks, not Joel Embiid. And
I was just going to say.
And this is not a knock on Embiid. Look, here's the thing. When you are picking MVP, ultimately what you're splitting hairs. These are the best players in the world. And it's just like, look, on some nights, you're like, damn, look how good Jokic looks. On other nights, damn, look at Embiid. Oh, damn. Yeah, it's like it's like, and it's a night to night thing, but I think overall, through the course of the entire season, from beginning to end, I believe Nikola Jokic has been the best player. You take him off of that team, they are a lottery team. They down there with the Houston Rockets and the OKC Thunder and the Orlando Magic and the Detroit Pistons, the dregs of the NBA, right? Because and this is, no offense to Monty Morris and Austin Rivers and Will Barton. I mean, they look like them dudes, they're not. This guy's been doing this without Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, right? His third and second best players all season. And the fact that Denver is 47-32. They are in the fifth spot of the Western Conference. Fifth, 47-32. Just for, record's sake, 47-32, that would put them around the same place in the East, only a win behind the Bucks and the 76ers. So, what I've seen from Jokic all season, to me, that says he's the winner. Now, if you look at the advanced stats, and, I don't like calling out these shows or mentioning them because it gives airtime to them and they're annoying, but I'm going to call out Nick Wright because his whole argument is disingenuous and he uses stats that nobody uses. Nobody uses PER anymore or any of those kinds of stats. Like, that's just dumb. He's like, oh, well, if you listen to PER, it says Precious Achiuwa is better than LeBron James. I was like, dude, stop it. Nobody is
That's exactly why no one uses that.
No one's using these stats. Just cut it out. Like, stop being disingenuous. But, his job is to get clicks and incite riots and get people all fired up on Twitter. And, so it's done its job. Point being, if you look at the proper advanced metrics, Nikola Jokic is number one in all of them. All of them. Now, here's the thing. If you are number one in every advanced stat, I mean, that's telling me something, right? Like, estimated plus minus, which I love to use, which is the best all-in-one stat in my estimation. He is a plus 8.8. That is per 100 possessions relative to his teammates and who is on the floor when he's who his teammates are and who his opponents are. The Nuggets outscore their opponents by almost 9 points per 100 possessions when he is on the floor. That is by far the best in the league. Joel Embiid is second, and he's a full point behind. Giannis, third.
Oh.
Win shares per 48, not total win shares of that dumb number that Nick Wright was using. Win shares per 48, which, by the way, as I've said numerous times, has accurately predicted the winner of the MVP in the last 11 seasons. The only time it didn't happen was when Russell Westbrook won it, and he was 12th or 10th in win shares per 48. But every other year, the person who's won in win shares per 48, number one, wins the MVP. Jenna, do you know who's number one in win shares per 48?
Is he on the Nuggets?
He is on the Nuggets. It is Nikola Jokic. He is number one. Plus, his win shares per 48 is .300. League average is .100. He is 3 times above league average in win shares per 48. Giannis is second at .298, I believe. So that's a very close margin. Now, if you want to look at counting stats, all right, Giannis is at 30 points per game, 12, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean, Jokic is like 26, 14, and 6, somewhere in that nature. You know me, counting stats, like whatever. I don't like that's that's what simpletons use to figure things out. All those old school counting stats. Because all 25 point per game scores, I've said in the past, are not created equally, right? But again, and I don't think it's a landslide victory, but to me, when you are number one in every advanced metric, you are number one in the advanced metric, which has told us who is going to win MVP in each of the last 11 years, except for when Russell Westbrook won it. I'm sorry. That's the MVP to me. And my eyeballs, when I watch, tell me he's the most valuable player to his team. Now, if you want to tell me, but you're out in the postseason, I think I'd rather have Giannis. Okay, I'm not going to say no. Or if you tell me,
that's fine, but the MVP doesn't go to the postseason.
It's a regular season award. If you want to tell me Jarod, I'd rather have Kevin Durant. Okay, I'm not going to disagree with you. We're talking most valuable player, right? And your definition of valuable, right? How much does he impact winning, right? Because that's ultimately what it is. Again, you take him off this team, trash central. garbage. Whereas the Bucks still have Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, right? Like they'll still be pretty good, right? So, I just, to me, it is Jokic, and it's the slimmest of margins, but it's Jokic. And he's deserving. And by the way, Jenna, here's the other thing. He's also made himself into a credible defender, right? Like he is above average on defense, plus 1.4 in defensive estimated plus minus. By the way, that's ahead of Giannis. Just putting that out there.
I love the argument. And my question is, though, because, this is probably going to happen to some capacity. When it comes to the MVP award, yes, of course, you just laid out the whole groundwork of why Nikola Jokic deserves it. And I agree. Stats, everything. He's killing everybody. I get it. But we know that this comes with the popularity side of it as well. The obvious answer is Giannis, who is the most popular out there, and this and that. He's bringing dad jokes.
Dad jokes, he gets 50-piece nuggets. Like, oh, look, Jenna, you know me. Look, that stuff is corny to me. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just don't like. Everyone's like, oh my god, I'm so endearing. I'm like, that's stupid. Like, I don't care that he likes smoothies or he orders 50 nuggets or he tells dad. Like, who cares? Who gives a shit? Like, he's an excellent basketball player. Like, I don't need all that other frilly crap. Like, that doesn't matter. And again, if you pick Giannis, I'm not going to say you're wrong. But like the idea that Jokic has no business being in the MVP conversation, laughable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you don't think that, then you got to, I don't know, go back to the drawing board, figure it out, call somebody.
People who are making those arguments are disingenuous. They're not making good faith arguments.
Love that word. Word of the day, disingenuous. Let's move on because this is another award that I personally consider up there with MVP in importance is Defensive Player of the Year. Because as we know, or as we witness night in and night out, a lot of people either can't play defense or they choose not to. So it is a very hard task to complete, but somebody's got to do it. So who do you have? Who's in the running? Or is this a solo award for you this season?
This is tough, Jenna, because Draymond kind of had this locked up through January, and then he 100%. Got hurt, and then it went away. By the way, just for, I was going to say shits and giggles. I'll say shits and giggles. Draymond Green, even after missing all that time that he missed since January with the injury, number 1 in the NBA in defensive estimated plus minus.
Oh,
plus 4.9. I mean, what Draymond does defensively is absurd. Like, and it's not just that he unlocks the Warriors small ball. Like, he's just brilliant on that end of the floor. He knows your sets before you run them. He knows how to blow up your sets, right? Like, he knows who should be helping off of whom. And I mean, he is, everyone, the quarterback of the defense, all those superlatives, those things are all true. I just want to shout out the fact that Draymond is incredible. It's just a shame that he missed all those games because this was his award to win. Now, the Boston Celtics since, mid-January have been the number 1 defense in the NBA.
What a turnaround.
They've just been locking people up. And it's just like, damn. And, a guard hasn't won a Defensive Player of the Year award in a little bit of time now. Marcus Smart he's outstanding. And
I like that choice.
Not just at the point of attack. Of course, we know that at the point of attack, what he does. But it's if you get him switched on to a wing or who, it doesn't matter. Like, this guy competes, gets in there, steals, just makes it tough. You can't just move him up the block, right? It's like, no, he's strong, right? And he's making things extremely difficult. He is the heart and soul of that end of the floor for the Celtics. Him and Robert Williams before the injury. I mean, man, like Williams was just like a rim protecting nightmare for opposing offenses.
He was having a good year.
And the other person I want to shout out in this award is Mikhail Bridges from the Phoenix Suns. The Suns are the number 3 ranked defense in the NBA. Number 3 offense, number 3 defense. I mean, the Suns. This is the crazy thing about these awards, Jenna. The Suns were the best team in the NBA by far all season. And they may only have 1 player finish in the top 5 in any of the major awards. Like it's just, and it's really a testament to the sum is greater than the parts, right? Like even though Mikhail Bridges, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton are all excellent individually, together they form this unbelievable supernova, which is what the Phoenix Suns are, right? So
love
again,
that.
I want to shout out Mikhail Bridges because he'll switch on to the teams. He opponent's best scorer, does his thing, breaks up passing lanes, jumps in there, gets steals, the whole nine. I'm going with Marcus Smart. I just think that Smart has been really, really excellent this year. And he's been a key in that turnaround for them. So Marcus Smart gets my award with a nod to Mikhail Bridges, as I said.
Ooh, I like that. Interesting point you brought up about the Suns, because I was watching SportsCenter and Doris Burke did a great sit down with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. And I don't know who, it might have even been us that was talking about this. Devin Booker doesn't get enough, I guess, shine or attention because the collective is so much not better, but it's just so good together. We haven't seen,
but it kind of is, Jenna. It kind of is that the sum is greater than the parts. Like
I know, but I just felt like I was sinning if I said it.
Because when we say that phrase, it's generally seen as a knock on the individual parts, and that's how people generally talk about it. But as I said, the individual parts are excellent. They're just, when you compare Chris Paul to, Ja Morant or Steph Curry or Luka or some other primary ball handler, it's like, yeah, we know what Chris Paul is like historically, but he's not what he once was. Still very good, but he's not quite there, right? We look at Devin Booker. Now, Booker, you could say, is clearly one of the best two guards in the league for sure, right? Ayton,
but he has so much room to grow.
So much room to go. Ayton, for sure, one of the best big men in the game, but he's not Embiid. He's not Jokic. He's not, right? But his team doesn't require him to do those things, right? Like, again, which is why the sum of the parts, what each of them does well, fits. This is a great example of a team fitting well together and buying into roles and responsibilities, right? Any team that can win 60-plus games as the Suns have, they are, as we sit right now, 62-16, and I mean, they lost 2 in a row, and they're 8-2 in their last 10. That's how good they are, and they can just shelf the rest of the season. It doesn't matter because they've already got the number 1 seed locked up. That they have been dominant from start to finish, and I just have to give them props for that.
Yeah, and like speaking of fitting well, I mean, Devin Booker could easily be like, "Hey, I want to be the guy. I want to be the point guard." Right now, we know that Chris Paul is just the guy there. That is what it is. But again, egos aren't getting in the way with them. The fit is great. Love to hear it. And to your pick, Marcus Smart, definitely a dark horse out of you. I didn't expect that. But I will just say he's so good at defense that sometimes, including myself, a lot of people will look at the Celtics and not know that he's a guard or forget. Just offhand.
Because they think about Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Robert Williams. And because, again, defense is one of those things that's very hard for the average fan to quantify what it means, right? We know what a block shot is, right? And we know what a steal is because those are very easy to see.
Yeah.
What you can't see is, the reason why this team didn't get into their offense until 3 seconds left in the shot clock is because of all the ball denial that Marcus Smart's been like, but there's no metric for that, right? And that now with 3 seconds, that missed shot, you don't know how to, who gets credit for it, right? Like that. Well, the credit is the fact that it took you 21 seconds to get into your offense because you couldn't get the ball where you wanted to. That is the beauty of what Marcus Smart does on defense. But again, when you're watching basketball, that's not how our brains don't work that way because we follow the ball, right? The ball is what we see, not all the other stuff that goes on.
No, you're right. You're right. All right, let's move on and talk about a little rookie of the year. I'm very curious to hear your choice about who your rookie of the year is.
Yeah. So, rookies generally, Jenna, are net negatives, right? Like it's very hard for a rookie to step in right away and contribute to winning because this game is fucking hard, man. Like this league is hard. These are the best players in the world. Like, yeah, rookies can get up there and put up numbers, right? But like, again, as I say, all 25 point per game or 20 point per game scorers are not created equally, right? Like,
and rookies are more about rookie of the year. I feel is more of a confidence award.
It is.
How confident are you in that season?
It is, and oftentimes the rookie that scores the most gets it. But for me, Jenna, there have been. First of all, this rookie class has been great. I want to just put that out there. I think there's a lot of potential in this rookie class to be excellent. Cade Cunningham has come on so strong the last, 25 games or so.
Dare I say, are the Pistons like getting good?
I mean, look, Jenna, like they have the pieces. look, if they continue to develop the way they're supposed to with Cade, Sadiq, Isaiah, like they're good. And they just got Bagley, like who's been showing some stuff in some recent games. Look, I know it's tough for Coach Casey because, he's an old school guy and wants to win, but if he can just stay patient, get these guys to buy into the right habits, this team is good, Jet. Like they have young talent. They can be very good come next season. But two rookies to me have stood out. And for a while, it was Evan Mobley to me was a clear runaway favorite for rookie of the year. But right now, if I'm giving out the award, I'm doing co-rookies of the year, which has been done before in NBA history. It's Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes in Toronto. Scotty Barnes has been outstanding. Shout out to my guy, Coach Thorpe on True Hoop, whose son Max plays at Florida State and played with Scotty Barnes. So Coach Thorpe is a big Scotty Barnes fan. What Scotty can do on both ends of the floor, not just shooting, but defensively, how he unlocks that entire team and what Nick Nurse is able to do over there. Look, and Barnes is going to be good. And remember, two things stick out to me about Barnes: his size and switchability and all that. And like he's smart, understands the game, and he's got a lot of room for improvement. The shooting's kind of streaky, but in 2 games this year, when he played against the Lakers and against the Nets, their 2 big guys specifically talked about Scotty Barnes following the game. Those 2 big guys being Kevin Durant and LeBron James. And when you are getting praise from those 2 guys as a rookie in this league, you're doing something right. When Durant particularly calls out, he has a high basketball IQ, right? So it's, physical gifts are all well and good, but a lot of people got physical gifts. This dude's smart, knows where to be, understands angles, and the sky's the limit. Look, first of all, can we talk about Toronto really quick? Like, I don't feel like anybody wants to play that team in the first round of the playoffs. So Pascal's playing well. You got Fred, of course. We're talking about Scotty. I mean, look, the OG, like they're going to be tough. And a little.
Don't underestimate Fred. Fred.
Fred's the shortest guy we mentioned, but he probably plays like he's the biggest guy, right? Like, that's just the swag and the confidence he carries himself with. He's 5'11", but plays like he's 6'7". The other dirty secret about Toronto. So we know about Kyrie not being vaccinated, so he can't go to Toronto. It came out this week that when asked, the Philadelphia 76ers and Boston Celtics both declined to answer when directly asked, are your teams fully vaccinated? And Jaylen Brown was specifically asked, and he said he declined to comment and said it's a personal choice. Well, Jenna, you know what that means. That means you're not vaccinated, because if you are, there's nothing to hide, right? You're just going to say I'm vaccinated. If you say, oh, it's a personal choice, I'd rather not tell you, that means you're not. And I hope the Celtics have to play the Raptors in round 1. I really do. So
I want to see this.
Yeah. So
how
we
this
can really
plays
find
out,
because we already know about Kyrie. We know that he's not vaccinated. That's right. He's the one who's like the poster person of the NBA's unvaccinated players. Fine, whatever. I want to see who else is unvaxxed. So I hope Toronto lasts as long as they can, and I want to see which players are, not around for that. But anyway,
what was it? Tatum on that list too?
Tatum said he's vaccinated. He said he's vaccinated. Yes, when asked directly, he said now he's gotten it while vaccinated too, but he has said he is vaccinated. So
okay.
But yeah, co-rookies of the year, Mobley and Scotty Barnes.
I like the both. Can't even complain there. I don't know how much of a co-person I am because you can get a little jealous in here. So I'm gonna say Scotty Barnes.
Okay.
Right now, because Evan Mobley has been out for a little bit. So his case has suffered a little bit.
I think he's played so well to me that I'm like, I can't overlook the body of work that he's put together thus far.
Facts. Cleveland ruled the All-Star All-Star weekend. I mean, it was all of them. All right, let's talk about, this is the most interesting one in my opinion. The most improved player. This is a steep award because you really have to show this gap. And there might be a few people that have it. Do you have a solo choice or? So
here's my thing about most improved player. The way we've been awarding it as a league, I just don't like, right? Shout out to our boy Brian Fonseca, who doesn't like when top 5 draft picks get most improved player because he's like, they're supposed to get better. Like we expect people in the top 5 to get better, Right now, Ja Morant is
It's a
the
great
heavy
point.
betting favorite to be most improved player. And my thing is like, Ja Morant was the number 2 pick. Like, why? Like, I don't like. Yes, he's gotten better, but like, this is what I mean, you were picked behind Zion. Like, there's a reason why you went number 2. Like,
And he's been surging. It's not like he had a dip and he had something to prove.
right. I so and you know I love my Grizzly Cubs, but so for me, no. And Darius Garland's another one, but he was a number 6 pick if I'm not mistaken. And so, you know, and yes, he did go from that to All-Star. So that's a huge jump. Like, I get it. And Ja Morant was a legit MVP candidate, though missing the last 2 weeks of the regular season, and that time he missed midway through the season, I think it's going to hurt his candidates, his choices for that. Jenna, I'm going to go off the board here. Someone most people probably aren't thinking about. I like Desmond Bane from the Memphis Grizzlies for most improved player.
Oh.
Bane was a bench player last season, and this season thrust into the starting lineup. Now, last season he was still shooting the ball, shot the ball extremely well last season. Looking at his numbers right now, he was 61% true shooting, 59% effective field goal percentage. But overall, he was a minus 1.2 estimated plus minus. You want to guess what he is estimated plus minus this year? Plus 3.5. That is like a 5 point per 100 possession turnaround. That is sick. Like,
Well, dang.
and he's been excellent on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively. And with the increased minutes and playing against starters, you would figure, oh, that shooting is going to come back down to earth. 60% true shooting, 56% effective field goal percentage, shooting 43% from 3. I mean, he, to me, has been outstanding. So that, for me, that is my most improved player, is Desmond Bane of the Memphis Grizzlies.
What if somebody told you that their most improved player was Jordan Poole?
I would not disagree with that either. I think Poole has gotten excellent. He,
especially playing in the absence of the biggest stars on the team, because mainly, say they have those big stars, this is what happens with teams like the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
You have your pieces and your role players, right? But they lean too much on the guys as a crutch. And when I say the guys, I mean,
Steph,
Clay,
Mm-hmm.
Steph, Draymond. How do you not rely on them the most?
Championship medal, all that.
Right. But Jordan Poole has stepped up and kind of filled that gap, per se. I mean, you can't fill that gap, but tried, and the best that he could, and it's been paying off for them.
I like Jordan Poole a lot. I think he's going to be a vital key for them this postseason. Like, it's no more like, now we're going to see under the brightest lights and the pressure cooker that is the playoffs. All right, Jordan, you've been doing some nice stuff in the regular season. Let's see you do it now in the postseason, because they're going to need him if the Warriors want to advance. And Klay Thompson said it, like, this guy's going to be big in this, because Thompson and Steph and Draymond, they're all convinced they're winning a championship this year. So they're like, Jordan Poole's going to play a big role in that. So we shall see.
Wow.
Again, the reason why I like Desmond Bane so much is the move from bench to a starter, and he was a 30th pick in the draft. Like, when you get towards the bottom of the draft, like, that's not, you can find some gems, but you're not expecting a lot, right?
Right.
I mean, this guy is an above average NBA starter on the second best team record-wise in the NBA.
Yeah. And when you're doing your daily routine and you got these types of guys chirping in your ear, I mean, there's no way you can't just become a better overall basketball player.
I mean, if you're looking at estimated plus minus, Jenna, again, in terms of the starters who have been playing this year, he's second behind Ja Morant on the team in estimated plus minus. Oh. So, I mean,
go Jordan. Do your thing, honey.
Desmond, you mean.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I know what you meant.
This thing on? Anyway, let's move on before I embarrass myself anymore and talk about the coach of the year in Jarod's eyes, anyway, because I feel like this is your award. You know very well how to hand out the best award when it comes to coach of the year.
First of all, shout out to Monty Williams, and what a job in Phoenix. I mean, the best team again, start to finish.
The consistency is remarkable. My God.
Shouts to JV Bickerstaff in Cleveland, what they've done, outstanding. Shouts to Nick Nurse in Toronto, Ime Udoka in Boston. They were 12 and 15 to start the year or something like that. Like, I mean, they're the number 2 right now. They can get the 1 seed. Eric Spoelstra, of course. Shout out to, there's a litany of good coaches up and down the league. But Jenna, we're staying in Memphis, man. Taylor Jenkins, the Grizzlies exceeded their win total, their over under win total. I think they were picked to win 43 games was their over under win total. So be fighting for that play-in area. That's where they thought they were going to be. Of Vegas. They're the number 2 seed, Jenna, in the Western Conference. Number 2. They are 55-23. I mean,
damn.
I just,
somebody's getting a raise.
I just think it speaks for itself, man. Like that team, they're fun, they're exciting. Yes, of course, everyone knows I love my Grizzly Cubs, and I think, Jen, I'm not 100% sure yet. I think I'm going to cover the first 2 games of the playoffs in Memphis. I think so. Like I got to get down to Beale Street, see what's popping down there. Stay tuned. But anyway, this team is they're excellent, and of course Ja and Triple J and Bane and Melton and Adams and everybody gets all the props, the players. But Taylor Jenkins, man, like this team's is set up to be good for a long time.
Oh yeah, and they're young. Oh my god. He would be my pick, but my pick is JV Bickerstaff because this was a Cavaliers team that was supposed to be rebuilding.
Talk
this
about exceeding expectations.
To happen, yeah. Like this was not supposed to happen. Not to mention you lose Colin Sexton, you lose Ricky Rubio, Jared Allen, and now Mobley's been out. But yeah, talk about a turnaround. They won 22 games last year, Jarod. 22.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Cavs are 43-36. I mean, they blitzed past their over under win total. Blitzed it.
Right? It's gonna be a good summer there in Cleveland because when it's snowing, I wouldn't advise going there. Damn it. Anyway, I'm not bitter. That wraps up the prediction of season awards by none other than Jarod. Because I mean, hey, if you go for these guys, you might as well bet on them at this point because Jarod's been collecting.
Well, a lot of them are.
A
lot of them you're going to get bad odds on, right? Because they're such overwhelming favorites. So, but you never know.
Hey. This might be your favorite subject of all, Jarod.
Yes.
This is the pinnacle award that a NBA player can win, and that is an all NBA selection. First, well, I was going to say second team, but first team we're doing tonight. And then, of course, all defensive teams. Actually, that might be Jarod's favorite topic of all time.
No, I think all NBA is my favorite, then all defense. But all NBA, because, again, we have 3 all NBA teams. And so we're going to go through all 3. I think it's because these are the 15 best guys in the league. And it's so hard. Like, it is so hard. To me, all NBA that matters way more than All-Star. Like,
you've said that.
All NBA is the one that is like, you are, it's like all pro versus a Pro Bowl in the NFL, right? All pro is what matters, not Pro Bowl, right? Like that's the one, right? When you are all league, like I'm one of those dudes. Now, the NBA, as Jenna, makes you pick 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center. I ain't doing that because this is positionless basketball now. It doesn't matter.
You're right.
I'm picking the 15 best guys, regardless of what position they play. And I will tell you.
Tell me your first team.
Well, first I'm going to tell you it was tough because I have 16, 17. I have 19 to 20 deserving players.
Okay.
And only 15 spots. So
sounds like Team USA.
So I'm gonna right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you who, so much love, but I'm sorry you didn't make the cut to Drew Holiday, Jimmy Butler, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland. Like, sorry.
These players did not make the cut.
They did not. They did not.
Interesting.
Yeah, they did not. All right, first team. No surprise. Jokic, Giannis, Embiid. Now, here's where it gets tricky for your last 2 spots. This player has missed a ton of time. Well, a ton. He's going to end up playing, let me see here. When it's all said and done, he will end up playing 55 games, which, that's 2/3 of the season. So that's enough for me. He makes it. Look, y'all know Kevin Durant's my guy. And I'm sorry, like 30 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists on 52, 39, 90 shooting splits. He's a +6 estimated plus minus, which is top 6 in the league. The Nets crater when he's off the floor. And we saw what happened when he went down with the MCL injury. They went on like a 13-game losing streak. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I don't care what metric you use. Kevin Durant is one of the 5 best players in the league. And you know what I think? When healthy, he is the player I'm choosing over everybody else every time. So Kevin Durant is my other spot. And then the last spot was tough. It's between Ja, Steph, and Luka. And Steph being hurt kind of hurt his case, and the Warriors stumbling. Ja being hurt and the Memphis Grizzlies playing so well without him hurt his case. So Luka Doncic, to me, grabs that other spot because he has been a house on fire basically since January. And the Mavericks, as we sit right now, are 49-30. They're a game back of the Warriors for the 3rd spot. And they could, listen, the Warriors haven't gotten that locked up yet. So, I just think that those, to me, this year are your all-NBA first team. And, people are like, draw it off positions. Look at the people I've mentioned. Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, KD, Luka. I got plenty of ball handling. I got plenty of shooting. I got plenty of defense, size, and rebounding. I'm good. Like, that's it. That is it. I'll say
no
this.
LeBron James?
He did not make my first team. And he gets penalized, Jenna. He's getting penalized for the Lakers' piss-poor season because while he likes to say, that's all we have a front office, I don't do whatever. No, we know you are the de facto GM of that team. So he's getting penalized for putting together that crap roster in LA, and for them being literally, they're not even going to make the play-in tonight.
I agree.
If they lose tonight, done.
I agree
Season
with
over.
you.
And he's not even playing. So
Magic went on a morning show spree and basically outed him and said, I wanted DeMar and he wanted Russ. And I came back from vacation and we had Russ.
Well, is what it is. Like I said. So
what I'm saying is he basically proved LeBron's hand in, of course, decisions.
So, he's out. But anyway, that 5, good luck stopping us from scoring, number 1. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 7-footers who can all score the basketball. So good luck stopping that. And I got a 6'7" Luka Doncic who can pass and do. Yeah. Good luck stopping us, and good luck scoring on us. So,
All right. I don't disagree with your choices.
That's all NBA first team.
Yeah, definitely a lot of 7-footers, which a lot of people would come down on you for, but I would never do that to you.
But as I say, what do I have? I have plenty of shooting, plenty of size and rebounding, plenty of ball handling, plenty of defense. That's what you need on a team to win. And playmaking. I got it all. I got it all.
It's a different game, too, these days. They're doing it all. So talk to me about your second team. What do you got?
Ooh, okay.
This one's even the hardest one.
It's hard. I got Karl Anthony Towns, LeBron James, Jason Tatum, Ja Morant, Steph Curry.
Okay. I see why your last 2, Steph and Ja, were hard with the first. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I
wait. Have I heard Draymond's name or no?
No all NBA for Draymond.
Okay.
All defense. Look.
I
Towns has been outstanding this year. Like, really good. And Minnesota, hello, everyone. Can we talk about Minnesota, for instance, for a minute right now? Minnesota Timberwolves, 45-34. Yes, I didn't stutter. Let me say that again. 45-34. Yeah. 11 games above 500. And listen, if the Utah Jazz keep screwing around, the Timberwolves going to catch them for that 6th spot. And Cat has been a large part of that. He has been outstanding. Look, LeBron has been excellent this year, but as I said, I'm penalizing him for the Lakers, so he gets dropped to second team. Tatum has come on like a house on fire. I mean, he's so good. And if you're trying to figure out, okay, KD's better. So that's what that is. Yeah. And then Ja and Steph, they've been excellent. So that's your backcourt. I mean, your backcourt. LeBron and Tatum, your front court, and Towns, right? So that second team looks more traditional in terms of a center, 2 forwards, and 2 guards. But that second team would have a tough time scoring against that first team because of all that length on the first team. So
Funny, I read something about Donovan Mitchell today that was like Donovan Mitchell's averaging, I think it's 2 turnovers per game right now, and he passes the ball to what was it?
Rudy, like not,
Yeah.
yeah. I
And then
mean,
so he's basically,
we
you know
could
what I
have a
mean.
whole other conversation about what I think is going to happen in Utah at the end of the season, because let's be real, Utah ain't winning no playoff series, so it's gonna be ugly. All right, third team, and this was, I mean, third team was the toughest. Like I was just like, I don't even know what to do. Like I just,
I love it.
Jarrett Allen to me has been a
Ooh.
huge reason why the Cleveland Cavaliers have been good. I know he's been hurt, and it was tough. It was him and Rudy, and I was like, oh crap, I don't know what to do.
Got his first All-Star nod this year.
But Utah they haven't been good, and Utah's underperformed, and because of that, I penalized Rudy and Donovan. Like I was like, no. So Jarrett Allen's my center there. DeMar DeRozan's one of my forwards. Chicago Bulls have been playing good basketball, even though they've been struggling of late. And then I moved Book onto this team just because I'm like, look, how can the Phoenix Suns, the best team in the NBA, not have anybody on an All NBA team? I mean, they have to. They have to.
Yeah.
So Book, Trae Young, who, look, I've had my beef with Trae, and his whole, well, it's hard to get out for the regular season after what we accomplished. But I was like, dog, you're a 10 seed right now. Although I guess
you hated that
up.
quote.
The 9 seed now, right? What are they? Yes, Atlanta is moved up to they're the 8 seed. So whatever.
Yeah, they were down.
But they were conference finalists last year, and I expected more out of them. And I expected Trae to kind of lead that, and he didn't. But I cannot deny he leads the league in total points and total assists. I just like is what it is, man. Like he's been killing. And then this was tough again. Donovan, Drew Holiday. I could have, but again, I penalized the Jazz, so I penalized Donovan and Rudy.
Okay.
And the Bucks, they've been playing with their food kind of all year. Like I could make a case for Drew, but I was like, I went with CP3. I was like, look, this is the number 1 team in the NBA. They have to have at least one representative, and I think they deserve 2. I think with Chris and Devin, like that is why they're a large part about why this team is as good as they are. So those are my All NBA teams.
I like it. That's exhausting. I could tell you're a little stressed. I understand.
It's a lot.
I understand. I got you. This is why I'm here. Let's talk about your picks for all NBA defensive teams, because like we said earlier, it is a very hard task to defend, to want to defend, to be not lazy and defend. So who made your first team?
Look, all the metrics say Jarrett Allen is deserving of an all-defensive first-team spot. I'm like, man, listen, he's a big reason why Cleveland was what. Now he got hurt and injured, so I could see moving him. I think so I might move him to the second team and put Rudy there, the first team. Rudy's kind of held down that spot for quite some time.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go Jarrett Allen, Giannis, Mikhail Bridges, Drew Holiday, and Marcus Smart. Yeah. And I know Draymond's not on the team, and the reason why Draymond's not on is just because of the injury and him missing all that time. But he's on my second team. Second team will be Bam, Triple J, Draymond, and now's where it gets wonky. I'm like, oh, what do we do? Matisse Thybulle. I mean, look, Thybulle's excellent. He's a really, really, really good defender. Matisse
underrated, though.
Underrated for sure. And since I know I punished them, and I probably should keep him off. I'm going to keep him off. Rob Williams from the Celtics, not Rudy Gobert. So that's it. No Rudy Gobert on any all defensive teams this year. I'm punishing him because of the Jazz just being overall so bad. Listen, all defense is tough. Like it really is. If you want to tell me Rudy's on there, like I'd be like, all right. Like I can't. I can't. I mean, he still had decent numbers, but the Jazz they've underperformed. and their defense is ranked 13th. Like, it's just,
Yikes.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, this is interesting because the next time that you guys are going to hear us, it is going to be day one. Well, it will have been day one of the play-in tournament. Day one of the play-in tournament. And you just said it earlier, the Lakers are facing elimination tonight. LeBron James could miss the postseason tonight.
It's a wrap. We got someone in the chat yelling, "What about the claw?" Kawhi Leonard did not play basketball this year, so he's not on any All NBA teams. He's not on any All Defensive teams. Sorry, he's not.
Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. What season are you in?
Yeah, right. No, that's right. He's not on any of those.
He's not playing this year.
Right, he hasn't played this season. No, yeah. So next week, our next episode will be during the play-in. Right, it's going to be that is day one of the play-in tournament. So, listen, we're excited, folks. End of the season's here. Let's get ready. Play-in, playoffs. Let's do it. As always, you know where to find us. Part of the Props Network. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all that. At JS Hector, at Jenna Lemon Selly. And listen, it's here, man. End of the regular season, play-in, playoffs.
Here we go.
Let's do that. Let's do the damn thing, as they say. Until next time, peace.
Spent a couple years out here with these raps, trying to have a plan that we made come true. Applied to some jobs, but I ain't hit back. I don't want to trap what some man gonna do.